All right, so here's how we like to start our death battle panels. First of all, thank you guys for coming out. And I want everybody, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and then we're all going to yell, it's time for a death battle, all right? So, here's how we go. 3, 2, 1. It's time for a death battle panel. All right.
This is awesome. Thank you guys for coming.
Definitely.
This is going to be great.
Yeah. You guys having fun so far? All right. Who's not sober? That is surprisingly few.
It's only 6.
All right,
I mean, give them a little bit of time.
6. It's MAGFest. Doesn't matter. Well, cool. In case you guys don't know, hey, I'm Chad James. I play Boomstick in Death Battle. I get to do the fun voice.
Oh, the fun voice. And I'm Ben Singer. I play Wiz in Death Battle. I'm the smart one. So.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh, fuck you.
We're starting this already?
Yeah,
all
already.
Right. Ben spilled my drink like all over here, so I'm all wet.
So I'm 1 up on you right now.
You suck.
All right.
All right. So thank you guys for coming out. In case you're here stumbling upon us for the first time, thank you. We do very, very nerdy things.
Yes. We research characters.
Soul-crushing, Lee.
Yeah, soul-crushing research that takes hours and weeks and months and lives to do. And then we pit these characters against each other in a fight. And we see who would win based on the facts and the science and that kind of stuff.
This room's got some wicked reverbs. Every time you talk, it just like bounces back at me. Feels really ominous.
Feels like we're gods or something like that.
Cool. So you guys have probably seen, we have a little treat for you guys, and that'll be at the end of the panel. But we usually like to just hang out, kind of take questions, and just have some fun. So, yeah, I don't think there's a Q&A mic here, so this is going to be fun. I totally stole this from Ego Raptor, by the way. So the way we're going to do Q&A is please hold up something, preferably something unique if you have a question, because then it's a lot easier to be like, no, I just disappointed you, I meant the other guy. So it can be like,
Guy with the purple hat or
you,
whatever.
the guy for some reason has a Just Cause dildo bat, whatever, Just Cause. I don't know, I'm tired, it's been a week. Dick butt, yeah, if
Dick
somebody
butt.
holds up, you get the first question. Do you have one? Yeah. Would I like another drink?
Yes?
Sure. Oh, it's Mandy. I can't
Yeah.
even. I know
You
them.
didn't even notice. Mandy,
that.
can you bring one up right now? You can.
Do it.
What?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Mandy, everybody. Hey!
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you.
This is the way you should start a panel at MAGFest.
All right.
All right, one. Thank you. All right, cheers, everybody. If you're under the age of 21, we do not condone drinking. You've learned nothing from this panel.
That was orange juice. And just that.
Yes. Delicious OJ. All right. Cool. I mean, do you have anything you want to say, like, before we go into the Q&A portion? Or
Want
like
to say? For Q&A, we would like to keep
Suggestions?
Death Battle requests to a minimum. I think it's better if we get those online, because then we can actually look at it and be like, oh, somebody wants Hulk versus Broly. Okay, well, I'll put it in my list. If you do it right here, it's not guaranteed that we'll remember it.
And there's a
might
bunch of
take
people
up
that are going to
some
want to
time.
ask questions. And like
Yeah.
we've had people like, one time I was at a booth, and I had someone pitch me Death Battle suggestions for 4 hours straight. So we don't need that here. We appreciate the
that's great.
enthusiasm, because we
Yeah,
wouldn't have a
that's
job
awesome.
if you guys didn't watch our stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. And every single episode, well, 99% of the episodes are based on suggestions from the fans. Like, that's awesome. We love you guys for it. But
we want to get
we want to be able to
everyone's questions.
Yeah, and we want to
Hey,
be able
new
to remember
people,
them.
welcome. Okay.
Welcome.
I love doing that. Yeah! Welcome to the death. Welcome. It's so much fun because like it's so easy to influence like tons of people. Because I'm like new people, and like you just watch all the heads like what? Dance. Also, right before we get started, I just want to do this. Hey, look, everyone! It's Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that before the cheers, there was just a aww.
Thank you very much. Do we have a Goku? That's what I'm wondering.
Should we just want to just start? Be like, there's the Goku.
There's the Goku.
And they're right next to each other.
We have casual Goku.
If people pop up, oh shit. All right. All right. This is great. We didn't even plan this. We can just go sit down. You guys can come up now. I'm just kidding. All right.
Actually, the next episode is Gatto versus Toph, and I ran into somebody cosplaying Toph, and she started doing some smack talk. Is she here? Is she here?
She back there?
There you are. Hello, Toph.
All right. Yeah. Is anyone here cosplaying Gatto? Because we could just make him fight.
Yeah, we can just do it right now. Somebody go find a Gatto.
Damn. All right, cool. Well, let's go into some Q&A. I know you guys got some questions. We'll have some fun. So, there you go. That dude was the first up. You're holding, it looks like a gigantic phone, and you're green. My inspiration for Death Battle was this guy. So.
Okay, question is, what was the inspiration for Death Battle? Well, originally, I was working on another series. It was like an episodic series, and it was about to be done.
Metal Gear Ben.
Metal Gear Ben, yes. And
it was this was before it was done. This was like,
it was like
I
halfway
have
through.
two ideas: Metal Gear Ben or this thing I want to call Death Battle. Let's do Metal Gear Ben first.
Well, no, it was like in the middle of Metal Gear Ben. I was thinking about during Metal Gear Ben,
All right.
like what would I do after Metal Gear Ben, and I had a couple different ideas that I pitched, and one of them was. What did I fucking call it? Who would win or whatever was what my pitch show was called, and I made like a little episode with just
he
me
was
in it.
so proud. He made this like really crappy animation with Samus and Boba Fett.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Like,
I had never animated sprites before. I had never done animation squat. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I wanted to do this thing where I was like, I'm going to put Samus and Boba Fett and make them fight. And it'll be cool, and everybody's going to love it. And then we're going to throw science into it, and that'll be cool. So I put together a little animation in Final Cut. Not even a really animation program. It was
just so you guys know, Death Battle is all the way up through Robotnik Wily. We're 100% animated in Final Cut through keyframing by this guy. Which is crazy.
I started learning how to incorporate After Effects into it after a while because I was like, I better, actually learn how to animate some stuff. But yeah, Death Battle episodes 1 through 18 is my entire animation career.
From start to finish.
Yeah, from start to finish. So there's that. But going more into the inspiration behind it, a couple things. One was Monty Oum's Haloid video, which was Samus versus Master Chief. And I thought the animation of that was really cool. I was like, okay, this is awesome. Later on, I watched Deadliest Warrior, which is, it's kind of similar to Death Battle. They take two
combatants
from history,
put it in the computer.
The computer to see who would actually win. And I started thinking, well, what if we put Haloid and Deadliest Warrior together?
And all the forums. There's so many forums, like on comic forums especially, that just constantly ask this question: who would win in a fight? And they always debate and stuff.
Yes.
And
Going even farther back, Haloid led me to who would actually win in a fight between Samus versus Master Chief, and then who would actually win in a fight between Goku versus Superman. And the shit I found on that was insane. So it was like, well, clearly people want to know. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, and everyone always did the who would win? Vote and tell us. We're like, that's bullshit. It's like, yeah, so we're like, so it's Ben, it's like, we're going to actually determine who would win and just do a ton of nerdy research. And at first he voiced it by himself, and we're like, that was cool.
The pitch was just me, and then I brought it to the guys, and we're like, yeah, we need a second host just to have that balance between the serious and the fun. And
I was like, I like doing voices, and so I was like, I'll do it. And I barely had done any videos for Screw Attack. I was just working for merch at the time, and so then we started doing that. And then, man, if you hear the first takes were just awful, because we both were trying to be hardcore. It's like, yeah, and then this guy's got this stuff, and then he kicks ass.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Episode 1 and 2 of Death Battle are so different as far as Whiz and Boomstick go, and a little bit with the fight as well. Are so different from what it is now. We were both trying to be way too hardcore. Yep. And it did not work at all.
We sounded too similar and everything like that, so we needed to differentiate it, So
there was a review online that I read that thought we were both
one person. Yeah.
Trying to be two separate voices. It's like, well, actually, no, but okay.
Yeah, so then I was like, Boomstick's this, I don't know, he's this weapons expert, and like I think it'd be fun to make him kind of rednecky, and like I was like, why don't I take like Adam Baldwin and like Sarge from Red vs. Blue and kind of like merge them into one character, and then it sounded like this, you know? So it was just like, and it worked out. So it was fun. And that was a really, really long answer to the first question.
Hopefully we answered a couple other questions.
Yeah, there we go. All right, I'll let you pick. I got the last one.
Okay, how about the soda can right in front?
Here you go. Is that Surge?
I have no idea.
Oh,
There it
shit.
is.
Yeah, I remember Surge. All right.
Then we'll get one in the back.
Where do you guys actually pull your metrics? Because you went to the Team 4-Star panel last night. Taco said that the only reason...
Was he talking shit again? Curtis, are you here? I'll see.
Wait, what happened?
He said the only reason Superman won was because he used the most OP stats for him, the Superman All-Star stats.
We didn't even use pre-crisis.
We actually didn't. We didn't even use his best feats. Like there's one, his fastest speed feat we didn't even mention is flying from one like galaxy to ours in a matter of seconds. I think it was like Alpha Centauri. I don't know. In like a matter of seconds because he heard someone on Earth screaming for help.
Yeah.
In another galaxy. What?
Pre-crisis, he could literally just make up powers at like will. He sneezed and destroyed a solar system, and we picked the most. Oh, Curtis. Oh, I'm gonna give
Curtis.
Hold on. I'm gonna text him.
Good. Good.
Actually, no.
Give him a call. Bring him up.
No, I will tweet him so that it's public. You can grab the next question.
Okay. While I was doing that, next question. All the way in the back. There's like a case, a long case. All the way in the back. Yes, you. This is going to be really hard to
Yell
hear.
it, man.
Go ahead and yell it, or you can come up. So the question, correct me if I'm wrong, the question is, will we ever take a real-life character from the real world and pit him up against somebody who's, like, fictional?
You know, it's
Well-
really funny that you say that,
Well,
because we got something in the works.
yeah. One that we've, there's one fight that we've been talking about. There are two fights that we've been talking about since the very beginning. One was Goku versus Superman, and the next one is coming up pretty soon. But I guarantee you, you have no idea what it is.
Is that the one after Toph?
Yes,
We could announce it.
we could.
Maybe
let's do it after.
Yeah, we'll save it for the end. We'll announce it for you guys. How about that? That guy. All right.
Impromptu announcement. All right.
Sorry, I'm
How's that
finishing
tweet
this up.
going?
It says, I heard you were talking shit. You were wrong. That is all.
All right. How about this arcade stick?
Okay.
Like, to add to what he said at Taco panel, I shut him down in one question.
Oh, yeah?
GT canon, yes or no? And made him admit that he hates Goku.
All right.
He compared him to John Cena.
Oh, yeah. Now everyone hates Taka. In all seriousness, we love the guys at Team 4-Star. They're awesome,
Yeah.
awesome people. They always are just more than willing to do voices
They've
for us whenever
helped out
we
with
need
a ton
some.
of death battles. I mean, have you guys seen Deadpool versus Deathstroke?
Yeah.
Taka did such an amazing job.
Deadpool's like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah. Like, the people who stole that episode are Torian, our animator, blew us all away, and Taka as Deadpool, for sure. Lord Jazer as Deathstroke, of course, but Taka's jokes were great.
Yeah. We were cracking up because it's like, here are your lines. Then it comes back and it's like a bunch of random shit as well. And we're like, that's funny. Let's put that in. So he had it a lot. And also that whole dance scene was completely our animator. Like, that just came in and we're like, what the? That's awesome.
I mean, when I was writing the script, I was like, he's going to do a breakdance scene, right? And that's how he's going to get around Deathstroke's attacks and stuff. But throwing on the different outfit, having the crowd appear and the speaker system and stuff, like, Tori just went all out with that, and it was amazing.
Yep. All right. That guy already had his hand up. Okay, way in the
Whoa.
back. You're not holding up an item. You're behind the guy with the laptop, which is awesome that you're holding that
Just
up.
a normal hand. Yes.
You got the black hoodie? Yeah. Yell it out. Okay, this is the question we knew was coming. I think, in case you didn't hear, the question was, there's now Super Saiyan God. What would you do?
Right. Well, hang
Superman-
on. Before we go on, what did you say about Superman Prime? You're talking about 1 million, where he goes gold and becomes God? Okay.
That's cute. I mean,
I mean, he kind of can create or destroy life by thinking it. So
God versus thing called God form, though not God.
here's the way, just so that we can get Goku versus Superman out of the way. Here's the way to look at it. It's the thing we talked about at the end of Goku versus Superman, where they are two fundamentally different characters. One of them is a character who is supposed to be the strongest and invincible, and that's his conflict.
And how he deals with it.
Yeah, he can't fit into a world because he's way more powerful than it. Goku's conflict is he can lose. That's literally Goku's only conflict, that he goes into fights, he loses, and he has to get better than
And
them.
overcome it, yeah.
So if you're saying Goku is the most powerful person in the world in fictional history, it's kind of backwards, because Goku has to be able to lose in order to be an interesting character. And Superman's the exact opposite. So that's what it really comes down to.
Also, I would like to say, yes! Good job, Ben! Yeah. All right. We got somebody holding up I think it's like a really deflated and sad shade of the Gatto.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Gatto's gourd.
Goku versus Superman.
Well, Goku versus Superman, we've been working on since before the show started.
Yep.
So 2.5 years.
Okay, we voiced that bitch like 4 times. What you guys got was the short version. Like, the first script was what, how long?
The first script just before the fight was a half hour.
Right.
And then there was still like the 7-10 minute fight and then the recap. So it would have ended up being like an hour long.
Yeah. Do you still have that stuff?
I don't know.
We talked about like
Sure,
maybe.
I still have the original script.
So we have like even more evidence and like even more. It was so nerdy. Like, there's so much crap. Also, by the way, fun story about Goku versus Superman. And I've told this at the panel before. But
Tell us at every single panel.
yeah, I know. Well, it sucked. Okay, so talking about the most work and the longest one we've ever had to do. Ben and I were up until like 3 a.m. this one time on the Skype call, like just really trying to like give Goku, like measuring Goku's ki was like one of the hardest things ever, because like a strength feat we can easily do. There's things of like, oh, he's lifting this at this training and that's not a problem. But it's like, how much could his ki actually do? So we're trying to find these big feats that he's done with his ki and like kind of translate that. And so Ben's like, oh, well, this one time he teleported all of humanity off of a planet, and like all instantly. And it's like, okay,
This was
cool.
in GT.
In GT. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll calculate the average weight of humanity. So I did. I looked it up, and I'm like, okay, so I got the average adult and child, male and female, and then I took...
Originally, we got all the adults, and they were like, wait, what about kids? We got all the child, so we
Right.
figured out how many children there are
Right.
in
So I took-
in
yes.
the world.
The adult male and female and child male and female population of the world, their average weights multiplied by the population, got it all put together, and I'm like, I've got it. He can lift this much with his ki. And then Ben goes, oh, you know what? He also like teleported off like a bunch of dinosaurs and shit. So, and I was just like, oh well, fuck that. Like, so that got thrown out the window.
To be perfectly honest, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, but I remember the dinosaur thing before you got to the last number. But I just didn't want to take it away from you.
You son of a bitch.
I wanted to see what you would come up with.
All right, you pick.
All right. How about this DS over here?
Will you ever do some sort of finale where you take the winners of all the different death battles and put them all in a pit and have them all fight the same?
All the winners versus each other. So, I love answering this one.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Everyone's like, oh, I don't know
Well,
if that would work.
Okay, there's two things. One is, I'm assuming you're going to talk about the idea of a tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, you go ahead and talk about that.
Okay. Thanks for your permission.
Well, there's another thing I want to talk about.
So the hard thing about when we do like multiple characters is we want to try and make the show like completely like without any of our influence whatsoever, and we just try and like look at the facts. And it's like, if this happened, could this happen, and things like that. If we were to take all of the winners and throw them in like an arena together, then it's just like we influence too much of that, because then it's like, well, who would attack who first and whatever. So like, for example, like Spawn would wreck some shit. Like, he could kill like a ton of people in there, unless for some reason Doom Guy went after him first, who specifically has a cube that will destroy.
Or the gun. Whatever the gun was called.
I thought it was a cube. Whatever. He's got a thing that just destroys necroplasmic energy, so Spawn would get annihilated. So that's what's really hard about doing that idea, because our show is solely about like just trying to get to the facts and like present it to you guys without our influence, and it gets really hard to do that. So, yeah.
That being said, I have kind of toyed around with the idea. This isn't anything that's planned or whatever. I have kind of toyed around with the idea because I think this would be fun, of having them all fight each other in a Death Battle the movie kind of thing. I don't know.
Just for entertainment?
Could that possibly happen? Well, I have no idea, but I think it would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. So maybe we'll do something like that. Is that a Darth Vader? I can't tell. It's a gigantic, like, black
It's
thing.
like a
Kind of looks
chest.
like a Vader. Oh, it's a backpack.
Is that a backpack? That's a heavy-duty backpack.
Luke, I am your backpack. All right, my bad. What's up? Well, clearly we know who would win.
Yeah, I already did. You just don't know it yet.
I'll kill you.
That's your witty comeback? That's the
It's
worst
the
witty comeback
truth.
of all time.
You'll see. No, that's honestly, whenever Death Battle is done for whatever reason, whatever it may be, hopefully it just keeps going. You guys keep watching, it gets bigger and bigger, and then we own the internet and somehow, like, yeah, that'll be cool. But whenever the final episode will air, we're going to do Wiz versus Boomstick. How could we not?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So if that happens, be sad, because it's done.
How about these two handguns?
He's getting ready. He's like,
Dante.
oh, yeah, get ready for this question. Set my guns down. What's up?
Well, first of all, since I'm in costume, I just want to say, like, fuck you to whatever sort of twisted fate decides the SGC dates this year. Anyway,
Oh, because of Evo?
no, just like, and now they're going to be very, like, a couple of heartbroken people that my mother won't get.
Oh.
Oh, no, I'm sad.
Okay.
That's a shitty question.
Yeah.
All right, what's up?
I'm not sure if you already answered this, but I know that you needed filler. At what point did you decide that it would be, like, okay to start bringing back people who've already been defeated?
Oh, you're talking about
Batman.
Batman versus Captain America. We've always planned on bringing back Batman. I mean, we've always planned on bringing back other characters. The problem is whether or not we want to spend time on these older characters that we have already covered versus new characters that people want to see. And so Batman versus Captain America is one that we've always had in the works as kind of like a backup kind of thing. Like, this would be an easy for us to put together. We already have the information on Batman. We just go to Captain America, write the script, we're done. So when we had that, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but when we had the computer hard drive that had everything about what Death Battle were we on?
Godzilla versus Gamera.
Everything about
So we
Godzilla
did that.
versus Gamera
We
crashed.
did a PowerPoint death battle at SGC.
No, at RTX.
It was
SGC,
Yeah,
SGC,
see, Ben.
Whatever, there's so much going on.
He knows.
Yes. Okay, at SGC,
All right.
yeah. So when that hard drive crashed, it kind of set a lot of stuff back, and we're like, well, crap. We still have to be able to get a Death Battle up on the next, scheduled time. Hey, let's put this together real quick.
Because so we argued about that too, because like we've never, like, people have like developed this unofficial death battle rule about, like, that person has already fought, so, or if they're dead, whatever, they can't do it again. And we've always wanted to be able to do that. It's just really hard because there's so many people have so many requests and fights and things they want to see. So like, bringing back a character, we knew the second we did that, we're instantly going to be like, you're already rehashing characters? You guys suck. I haven't seen my favorite thing. So we did it, and we will do more in the future, but there's so many fights that we want to cover. Yeah, you guys can just leave. We suck. I know. Bye. All right, cool. Is it my turn? I want to do. The dude is holding up his laptop. Let's do it. I think it's a MacBook. Yeah. What's up, man? Oh, like, so how important are fan decision submissions for like the matchup?
Very important.
Oh yeah, very important.
I have a list of like hundreds and hundreds of suggestions that people have submitted over the years through YouTube comments, through Facebook, through screwattack.com, through everything. Whenever I see one that I'm like, oh,
just please
this would be
God, not Facebook. Have you seen my wall and like my messages? I get some of the craziest shit. Anyway.
Well, every time we go through the next couple episodes of Death Battle, I bring it up and I'm like, okay, which ones can we put in today? And that's where that comes from. So yeah, most of the episodes come from fan submissions.
I read like every single comment on Death Battle. So we absolutely do that stuff. We'll also throw some in there that like, because when the show was created, Ben and I talked for a lot, just like what fights could be cool. So we have like our own personal thing. Like I'm not gonna lie, like Bucky O'Hare versus Fox McCloud was something that like I fought for forever.
That was something that we wanted to do, and we knew we wouldn't get any suggestions for it because it's freaking Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's great, okay?
I know!
And I had to watch him die.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, so we'll have some of our stuff too, but we absolutely, I mean, like Ben has this master sheet, and we definitely take that into consideration. So yes, eventually there will be Galactus versus Unicron. We know. Like, all the time. That's gonna be such a big project.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're not gonna half-ass that.
Yeah. Since we were talking about Bucky O'Hare, someone's holding up a giant purple bunny thing. So.
Oh, the thing from Zelda.
Yes.
Have we ever wanted to do a certain character but not had enough source material?
It's not so much source material as it comes down to like sprites. And I've said this at a panel before, so I'll just out it right now. Like, we were just talking about like the fights that we talked about that we just want to do. I have been such a big proponent of Power Rangers versus the Voltron Force.
Oh yeah, that's one we've both wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And Ben's like, yeah. And so like we were talking about it, and then we've got a bunch of Power Ranger sprites. There's a lot of fighting games with them, but there's like no Voltron sprites. And
especially back in the first couple of years of Death Battle, when everything was sprite based, it just wasn't going to be an option for us unless somebody would make a giant Voltron sprite sheet or whatever.
Right. And so we actually had people working on that. It's been about 4 years. And we've never seen those sprites. But so there's sprites are the biggest limitation for us. But now, since we have Torian, who's just a monster 3D animator, that opens up some of the options too. Like that's why we were able to do like Deadpool, Deathstroke,
Godzilla, Gamera.
Godzilla, Gamera.
Gamera doesn't have any sprites
So
that I know of.
we're still working towards it, but mainly sprites are the thing that really hold us back. So, all right, it's your turn.
How about I think this is a Fez right up here.
Apart from Bucky O'Hare, what was the most disappointing result of a Death Battle for you guys? Because you guys
One that we picked the winner and it was the one we didn't want to win.
Yeah.
Well, I mean Zangief versus Hagar.
Well, that's just depressing. How do you choose in that scenario? That's why I was like, I don't want either of them to die. But for me, it was Chun versus Mai, because I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, and like having Chun-Li die sucked.
And Donatello for me, who I had to animate Raphael stabbing over and over and over and over.
We've learned from doing panels that I'm apparently like very sadistic somewhere deep inside, because like all the most like brutal deaths ever in Death Battle was me being like, hey, what if he just like stabbed the shit out of him like over and over and over again? Ben's like, but Donatello, I'm like, I don't care. Like, so.
But Spider-Man.
Yeah. So you want me to tell? You want to know the ending I wanted to Spider-Man Batman? Because I'm like, Batman's wearing armor, and I was like, how would Spider-Man kill him? We ended up having him kick him apart, but that was only because the sprites wouldn't allow what I wanted, which is the Spider-Man to like get Batman in a grapple, and then just like take his web shooter and like just like grab his face and literally just like web shooter down into his throat until he like basically was like choking and like dying, and then just like, and it's just webs and explosion, and like the sprites can't do that, and I'm like, damn. So.
That did inspire Charizard's death in the Pokemon Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So that eventually made its way in a certain different variation.
Yep. Let's
We got
see.
Captain America back there with the
Yeah.
shield.
Fine, take my turn. Go for it, Steve Rogers. Maybe we'll put you. Maybe we'll put you in a death battle between like CJ from Grand Theft Auto and a battle of stealing cars. Has anyone seen that shit with Captain America stealing cars? It's ridiculous.
All right. What was that? The Red Brown movie, I think?
Yeah, where he's just like, oh, I'm feeling sick, and he gets out, and then he just steals a pedestrian's car. All right,
The
let's
other
see.
one. Okay, not the Red Brown one.
She's spinning a hat. Let's do that. What's up? Yes. A little bit. No. So it doesn't hurt, but if I do the boomstick voice like a lot, like if we have to voice like over and over again, or if like I'm at a con talking to people constantly and then I do the voice a bunch, my voice will give out. So I try not to, and it's interesting because like the way I first did it, I just like belted that shit out, and I would just lose my voice every time. So then I kind of found like a different place in my throat to do the boomstick voice, and it helps it a lot. But yeah, if I have to do it a lot, it'll definitely just obliterate my voice.
This guy's like the loudest talker I know. You can like be
Yeah.
standing on the other side of the freaking convention hall and you'll hear him.
That's my
just
problem.
talking normally. He just is freaking loud.
I
But he
love-
also loses his voice easier than anybody else I know.
Because I talk so much, and I'm always like, yeah, I'm excited about things. I'm
It's
gonna
like
yell.
the worst thing to be like, hey, here's a crazy voice. Don't lose your voice, please.
Also, have you guys noticed that we've just got like a whole bunch of like Smash characters, and there's a pony just like appearing? Yeah, what's up,
Hi,
Lucario?
Lucarios.
Yeah, we got 2 Lucarios, and we got a pony, and then I think, is Fox here? Should have blessed you.
There
Yeah,
he
there's
is.
Fox McCloud. All right,
Awesome.
it's good stuff. All right, let's pick the. I like the Dancing Kirby. All right, Dancing Kirby,
There
what's
you go.
up?
Yes.
You know what? No one's ever asked us that before, and that just like nailed something so spot on. You
Yes.
want to talk about it? Let's do it.
Death Race? Yes. I've wanted to do Death Race for a long time. Like one of the ideas was, well, what if we take like the Mach 5 and the Batmobile and James Bond's Aston Martin, and like we pit them all against each other. There was another one, I can't remember what it was. Pit them all against each other in a race where they either, I don't know how the rules would work exactly, but they get to the end without dying. Something like that. We've been talking
That's so
about
funny
it. We would
because
like to do
Ben,
it.
like, I don't know, 2 years ago was like, what if we did a death race?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and no one's ever said that, so there you go. Yeah, no problem. I picked the last one? Yeah, Dancing
Okay.
Kirby, too.
How about this white Mario hat? You've been up for a while.
Oh, he's Fireball Mario. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's up?
Considering how much the show has grown, would you guys ever consider down the line hiring or contacting at least getting in contact with professional voice actors? Because I imagine Jim Cummings would be a pretty cool guy, and you're envisioning, I don't know, Darkwing Duck versus
Let's get dangerous. I want to use Darkwing really bad.
We've talked about
we've
Darkwing
talked about
before.
Here's the nice thing. We like, because of like where the show has gotten, all thanks to you guys, by the way. So thank you guys so much for watching. We have a lot of people that we can reach out to that we can just be like we'll just do a casting call for voice, you know, and we'll have some people that are just fucking awesome. They can just like nail a voice, and they're just like, yeah, I just want to do it to get exposure. So we give them, you know, a link and stuff like that.
Speaking of which,
So-
actually, while we're on the topic, I just want to mention this Gara versus Toph episode does have 2 voice actors. One of them is Chris Guerrero, who I believe is voicing in One Piece right now, and Kira Buckland, who some of you might know as Rena Chan. She was in a lot of Newground stuff with Kerbifer.
So it's like this awesome, like mutually beneficial thing, like because some people would be like, you know, undiscovered or whatever, or sometimes we'll work with higher caliber, but like they just want to do it, they get exposure, and it's free. So that's always nice. But yeah, I mean, we're always open. So let's see, it's my turn. Who do I want? It's hard to tell. This dude's just walking in holding up a. Is that from?
Axe guitar?
Yeah, the axe guitar. Do you have a question, or are you just walking in like a badass? Oh, he was just walking in like a badass. Hands up, everybody.
Hurry up, Chan.
Is that the Riddler staff? Yeah, let's do that. Like,
Awesome.
That was all that guy. So, fun story about Robotnik Wiley. A couple times over the years, I've caught Ben in moments of just, he's working too hard. But Robotnik Wiley had so much animation that I came into work one day. I was the first person in the office, and I'm like, the lights are on. This is weird, and the alarm's not set. And I come walking in, and I walk by Ben's desk, and this is all I see. Completely passed out with his computer open with like all the keyframes up. So like you worked on that for so long. You were up to like the deadline.
This is so weird because I don't remember that at all. But
Yeah,
people
'cause you
keep
did-
mentioning it.
Yeah. It was hilarious. He was completely just passed out. He put a ton of work into that, so glad you enjoyed it.
There was another one, right?
Okay. I like that. By the way, we have a fun one in the works that we actually let Akon choose a death battle. It was a crazy clusterfuck of suggestions, but eventually it was all settled on McGruff the Crime Dog versus Smokey the Bear.
That'll happen.
So that's coming, just so you know. All right. That dude's holding up his shoe way in the back. What are our Hogwarts houses?
What are our Hogwarts houses?
That's
Okay.
a new one. All right.
Like ours or Wiz and Boomsticks? Because Wiz is obviously Ravenclaw because he's just brilliant. He's the smartest guy ever.
I'll be Slytherin and rule the world.
There we go. There we go. There we go. We'll do that.
All right,
We'll do that
we
and get
have
back to you.
Apparently, we have to go consult the internet to find out where we land.
How about this, what is it, Mega Metagross right here?
We argue a lot.
The idea with, picking out who would beat the other isn't necessarily matching feats. It's more like, can this character counter what this other character can do? And if they can, move on to the next thing. And whenever we come to something that the other character can't counter, we say, okay, well, how often will that actually come up in a battle?
And then does the other character have something that this person can't counter?
Yeah.
So we'll look at that, and usually one of us will pick a character. Like Ben will start. It's so funny because it always comes to Ben comes up to me and he goes, I think this person's gonna win, and I'm like, you're wrong. And I was just like, give me all the facts, and I pick the opposite side every time, and then we just argue into the ground until one of us has a clear, okay, all the facts are in front of us, and that's what really helps balance out the show because we'll always counter each other to really argue every point. So,
and further talking on that point, we always look at characters at their maximum potential. So sometimes a character partway through the series, they'll lose powers or something like that, or they won't be as powerful as they used to be, but they'll still be able to do these great feats. We have to look at those powers and also how powerful they were before and take them at their maximum potential, because otherwise it just leaves questions open.
Unless it's something they gave up, Spawn became a god, and later was being a god is just too boring. I'm giving
or
that
if it's
up.
a separate character like Gaara and Shukaku, for example.
Yep. I think you're holding up a Death Note book. Is that
Just
cool?
the book.
I'm
It
not
could be
writing
the
my
Death
name.
Note.
I'm not putting my name in it
He
either way,
wouldn't-
just to
he-
be safe.
He wouldn't tell you it was the Death Note.
Dude,
It
somebody
was.
tricked me once, and they're like, "Hey, can I get an autograph?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And like, "You're dead." So, all right. Okay, it's for me. What's up? Which man?
That man?
What, wizard?
No, that man.
That man?
His name's that man.
Which man? I only see this guy.
Maybe on the other side.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, yeah. It's actually, we've kind of just, literally the history of Wiz and Boomstick has been 100% created in the VO booth.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like we'll be there and like I go a little crazy when I'm voicing Boomstick. You can ask him about that. I will just like when I'm
There have been numerous things that Boomstick has said that we cannot make public. Never.
Yeah, but like so, we'll just be voicing and like whatever. Yeah. Which you can get a little bit of that in like the Advantage content stuff we do, where you get to see us in the VO booth, like our outtakes. But I don't know. When I'm in Boomstick mode, it's very much Boomstick talking, like, and so something will just go and it comes out, and that's where like a lot of it, like our rivalry. So it's like this like Wiz and Boomstick have this very like kind of it's like a love-hate relationship, like they couldn't exist without each other, but they love to just hate on each other because he thinks he's so superior, and Boomstick doesn't want to deal with that. So like. So it's great, and I think that's one of the reasons that the characters like kind of resonate with the audience, because we have like we work together, but we also have the little bit of friction. So, yeah. What was that?
When is the wedding?
When's the wedding?
That was a question.
Oh, I learned a lot from my ex-wife, so no.
Not doing that? Aww.
Yeah. We'll see. You can't prove anything. All right.
How about Deadpool's head over here on a sword?
Catch the most fun. Probably Kirby Boo.
Yeah, maybe.
No. Anytime we use a Dragon Ball character, and I hate the fact that the way that came out, because we just thought that would be a really good matchup, and then it was just like, it literally, once we like were going through it, and we're like, oh, Kirby's gonna win, and I was just like, shit.
Well, actually, it's funny because originally it was going to be, we were originally going to do Kirby versus Ditto.
Yeah.
But it's like, what can you really do with that? We were thinking of giving Ditto all these like different Pokemon that you could transform into, but in the end, it just wasn't coming out entertaining or interesting.
We thought it was going to be like this stalemate, and we were just going to make it really entertaining. And then we like really dove into Kirby, and we're like, oh my god, Kirby would obliterate Ditto. So that's when we put him up to like Boo. So anyway, that's another. Anything Dragon Ball, we get so much shit. And again, who won in Vegeta's Shadow? We don't hate Dragon Ball, okay? Just putting it out there. This guy's got an axe with a little cross in it.
Like a complete episode? No, I don't think so.
No, not a complete episode.
We've had matchup ideas that we haven't done, like Kirby Ditto, and originally Harry Potter was going to face Aang from Avatar. Aang's way too powerful for that, so we switched to Luke Skywalker. But now we're finally bringing Avatar in with Toph, so that's cool.
Yep. Oh, cool. Oh, did you write down a list? Awesome. That way it works. What did you write this on? Is this like a flat? What did you steal this from?
Is this from?
Oh, he ripped it off of his binder. All right. It's yours.
I thought it was like a tablecloth at first.
All right. All right. Well, we'll hold on to that. I can make like a little flag out of it.
We can read one. We
gonna read them?
We got just one. Just a couple. We got Sora versus Robin. Kingdom Hearts with Fire Emblem. Okay. And then just Power
One
Rangers,
person was like, yeah!
and a Power Rangers free-for-all.
Power Rangers free-for-all? We'll see.
Interesting.
All right. I think, no.
Well, how about this portal gun right here?
All right.
Right in front of us. Try to keep it quick. We got more. Oh, everywhere.
Everything.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, the Superman Flash thing? That's been done, though, like so many times in a race.
I mean, DC has officially answered that several times.
Flash
is always just a little bit faster.
People are just like, Flash, it's Flash, it's Flash. Yeah. If anybody says different, I'll kill them.
Flash is just a little bit faster because Flash has to have that one thing, because otherwise, what's the point of fucking Flash?
Right.
Like, what's the point of him? So.
Yeah. We should have done Toph versus Daredevil.
Well,
I don't know why that popped into my head.
I kind of like Daredevil versus Kenshi from Mortal Kombat.
Versus Kenshi? Yeah, that'd be cool. This is why I love Death Battle. I can say a thing, and then people immediately are just like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if this person would win. Cool. All right. There's another head of something. I think that's a head, or it might be a jacket. I don't know. I called a backpack Darth Vader.
That's a jacket. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was a jacket. There I go
red
again.
And black.
All right, Freddie.
Stripe. It's not a head. What the heck is wrong with you? Awesome. Like, how long does it take to do battle royale research compared to like normal ones? Well,
luckily with like the turtles, it's all in the same subject.
with
Like
both Turtles and Pokemon, which are the two battle royales we've done, we don't have to go to like
a bunch of different sources and read all of their history, so it's about the same, honestly.
it's about the same. I mean, for the Turtles, it was a little more intense because rather than taking notes on one or two characters, it was taking notes on 4 of them. God, I had never watched the the 2003 cartoon of Ninja Turtles up until that point. I watched the entire thing in like a week, less than a week, because of that.
Some hate right there,
Why
man.
am I getting hate for that? I didn't grow up. I grew up with the old one.
But
whatever. The 2003 one was fine. It was
clearly, you weren't watching the right one, and by that I mean, the live-action one with Venus.
fine. Oh, jeez. Yes, I watched that as well. We didn't use any footage in the episode because
It's almost
disgusting.
It's almost
but-
as bad as the Power Ranger musical. That's
But that was funny. That's funny.
Why can Saba talk to birds? Why? It is so ridiculous. All
So
right.
apparently that was held in like Dallas or something, and they actually closed down the highways because of that.
Yeah, let's just have a conversation.
Crazy.
Screw
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Power Rangers.
Yeah?
That was pretty cool. Did
Yeah.
you like the Green Ranger? Green Ranger was my favorite.
Of course, dude. Jason David Frank, man.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see. This guy's been holding up a glow stick forever. Let's do it. He checks. Is it mine? I have
Is
been.
it glowing?
All right. There it goes. What's up? Okay. I actually got this question earlier. Not in the panel, so you're good. It's something like we never really explored until we were out in LA recently, and there's this awesome company called Swordplay, and they teach like actors how to fight like blank. So like if you like
wanna fight like a Jedi.
if you want to fight like a Jedi or a pirate or a knight or things like that. And so they're apparently fans of ours, and we're like, we're in LA. Sean did a hard news, and then he left a comment. And he's like, hey, we run Swordplay. If you want to come out and learn how to fight like a Jedi and a pirate, just let me know. And we're like, fuck yeah.
Like you do.
So we go out there, and we made this whole video. You can find it on the site. It's like where it's on YouTube too. It was like Jedi versus Ninja versus pirate, or no, Jedi versus Ninja versus Knight versus Fencer.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Anyway,
I was the Jedi. He was
they
the
like
secret
trained
pirate.
us up on like how to do like combat stuff and put us in costumes, and like it was awesome. And they actually do a little bit of that stuff. They do like a live action fight. So I know that Ben and I walked away from that being like, if we ever need to do something live action, we now know the people. So like we have it. We don't have anything planned.
What it really comes down to is what the matchup calls for. Because we didn't do some matchups before because we didn't have access to a 3D animator. But then, we find Torian and we're like, oh, we can now do Godzilla versus Gamera. We've wanted to do that forever. So maybe down the line we'll come across a fight that's like, this wouldn't work if it was 3D animated or if it was sprite-based. It has to be live action. Other than that, Death Battle's kind of developed a style around animated fights. And I think a lot of the characters we use, it wouldn't look as good if it wasn't animated, because a lot of them are like really flashy and crazy and jumping all over the place. Like that wouldn't look as good in live action. But it's always an option.
The fight would have to suit it, but we now have like an avenue to explore.
Yeah.
And speaking of animation, we may explore different types of animation in the future. Who knows? That was awesome.
Ooh.
Like collectively. That was good.
What about the spinning hat over here on
Right.
the far right?
There's 2 people doing it. Let's see who stands up first.
Far right.
Oh,
Okay.
both
Oh,
of them.
I didn't
now you
notice-
got to fight. No, just kidding.
Okay, we'll do one and then the
Oh,
other.
he's down.
Oh.
Yeah. I just love that. Like I said that, and he immediately was just like, "Well, let me put my shit down."
We'll do both. We'll start with the one up front.
You in the
go to
front,
back.
and then you. So
Yeah.
how do we deal with the butthurt fanboys?
How do we
in the
deal with the
comments? The hate.
We laugh at it. It's hilarious.
Here's the thing: when you work for the internet, like when you first start, like you read the comments and you're like, oh, he says I suck. I feel bad, and then you realize the internet's a horrible place. And then it just becomes entertainment. So like it's just kind of like that's funny. Like look at this comment. This is like the most pissed off I've ever seen anyone ever. I had a guy tell me to kill myself on Twitter the other day though.
Yeah, both of us.
That was because
we were
of
supposed to
Kirby
commit
Boo.
suicide.
Yeah, we needed to kill ourselves because of Kirby versus Boo.
I could
So-
not, after Goku vs. Superman, I could not go on my my ScrewTech Twitter or Facebook for months without
yeah.
getting death threats.
Yep.
Just whatever.
Right? It's
but
crazy.
yeah, at this point, it's just become kind of funny for us.
Yeah.
And really, like, we welcome criticism. Like, the show will only do better when people critique it and give us, suggestions of how
Yeah.
to do better. That's fine. But, the random hate, whatever, we'll just ignore it or laugh at it. That's cool. All right. And you. Like an old versus new death battle. Versus like old Dante versus new Dante or something like that?
We haven't researched that one, but can you imagine how pissed off every single one of you would be if new Dante wins? Like, yeah. Yeah. New Dante's like, yeah! I don't know. Like, it's so funny because on Reddit right now there's like a comparison between Lara Croft, like her old school version, versus like the new one. We've never talked about doing that before.
I mean, I've thought about it before, but like, it really depends on the different characters. Like characters like Dante could probably work, but there are also a lot of characters where the reboot is still kind of like the old one, like the rebooted Lara Croft.
We should do We should do 80s He-Man versus the New Adventures of He-Man.
Well,
I just really like using
obviously the
He-Man.
old school He-Man's gonna win. He magic chains together and like burrowed to the center of the earth. Like,
Yeah, he did.
What can the new He-Man do?
That was like one of our favorite death battles to work on was He-Man versus Lion-O because I'm a huge fan of He-Man and Thundercats. So it was like we got to write our own little episode, and that was the most fun we've ever had arguing too. Because like every day, like I took the perspective of He-Man and he took Thundercats, and he's just like, oh, Lion-O went to the center of the earth, top that, and I'd be like, poof. He-Man was in a cave and he broke off a stalactite and just spun really fast to bring lava back to the planet
from
Like,
the core
of the
planet.
Yeah, that was good. Was that Metal Man way in the back, standing next to Dr. Wily? Oh, you tricked me. I wouldn't have called on Wily. Fine. And he's standing next to Robotnik. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, Sonic Heroes and all the other times Metal Sonics beat you up says otherwise. So sorry.
Yeah, watch out. No, Metal Man, he cheered for that behind your back, just so you know. Watch out for that one.
The same robot 5 times? Oh, yeah. Shouldn't you be at...
Seriously, what's with the animal thing, man? Like, couldn't you find
It
a
is
cheap...
a little creepy.
Yeah, Metal Man. What was it?
Kid's name for
Okay.
I agree.
All right, sure.
I agree.
There you go.
You gotta throw those tornadoes into the fight.
He's probably, resting from running that world.
Yeah.
Did you guys think at the Death Battle panel we would be accosted by Robotnik and Wily and Mega Man characters? No! Big round of applause for these guys. Thank you for coming up.
Funny story about that, though. Like, typically when we go into a
They're like, we're not leaving. Fuck you.
When we go into a death battle where like there's an alternate ending, you know, like with Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black, it's like, oh, it's going to be a draw. You know, obviously we kind of had that plan going in. With Robotnik versus Wily, we had no idea we would end up with Metal Sonic at the end. That was just something we came to a conclusion to because the research pointed that direction.
It's just like we looked at it and it's like, well, no, but it's here's the thing, and it wasn't because we're arguing back and forth, and then we're like, okay. So, Robotnik is going to win, right?
Yeah.
Because Metal Sonic is way too OP, right? But yeah.
Except that Metal Sonic can copy abilities.
Well,
He's
maybe
against
you should
so.
kill. No.
See, because remember what I was saying earlier is the way we determine this is we go by like what can counter what? Can Robotnik's robots counter Wily's and such? And when we were doing this with Eggman Wily, it ultimately came down to, well, Metal Sonic's just OP. Oh, but Wily.
If Wily came down to it, he's going to use whatever he had at his disposal,
exactly,
which
and
is
he's got
Roboenza.
Well, Zero, you technically never actually used Zero. That was several decades into the future when he actually activated.
That's right.
So-
All right. Thank you, guys. We're going to take some more questions. You can accost us after. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
I think we have like 6 more minutes
Before we
questions,
show
and
it
gotta
off.
show this.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, okay.
There's,
After
like,
that,
some sort of yellow. Oh, it's a Pikachu hat. He turned it for me. So there you go. Or it might be a lady. I can't tell. It's really far. Go, Pikachu hat. Thank you. Hold on. Shh. Everyone, shh. Yell.
the Death Battle,
Death Battle
DeviantArt
DeviantArt page?
community. Yes,
Yeah.
I've noticed that the DeviantArt community for Death Battle is way bigger than I expected it to ever be. There are people on there. They make the art
matchup
for it,
slates.
the matchup slates, but they also write their own Death Battles with their own characters. And that's pretty cool. I never
Yeah.
thought I'd be making a show where people like kind of I guess make their own episodes of online, and that's kind of humbling. I
Yeah,
think.
I know.
Like,
It's
that's
awesome.
really cool.
I mean, we fully encourage that stuff, and like
Yeah.
you know, if people do artwork and they want it, you know, we love awesome artwork and we like to feature it in the show. So we're super excited about that. That guy's literally got his flashlight on. All right, you've caught my attention with your shiny thing. Go. Unspoken? Yeah. So like,
We have a list of rules at the end of every episode, and basically it comes down to like, oh geez, like characters can't know anything about each other if it's not canon in their own universe. The sources drawn for each character has to be, you know, the same from the same kind of sources as the other. So if we're using comic books from another one and the other character has comic books, you know, we should pull from that as well. Really, what it comes down to is we just pull everything. That's just there just in case.
but well,
Stuff that
I
are not unspoken. 'Cause here's the thing: with Death Battle, the rules really comes down to what is the matchup. Because a good example is Link versus Cloud. When we brought Link versus Cloud, both
that
characters,
sucked.
especially Cloud, like what is Cloud's natural state? Because the player is who builds up Cloud a certain way. RPG characters are tough because the player decides what Cloud is going to be, how strong he is going to be in certain aspects. So we had to do the most like natural thing for Cloud, like what Cloud would decide to be, which is why we took from the fighting games.
Yep.
Pokemon was the same way. That's why we didn't incorporate things that could be like TM moves and things like that.
But if you want like a quick like unofficial rule, time travel.
Well,
because it sucks. Like, so for example, like we talked about it in like this is like Shadow Vegeta, right? Because Shadow can manipulate time.
with the
Kind of.
Chaos Emerald.
With the Chaos Emerald.
What
Anyway.
that basically came down to is, what do you have a Chaos Emerald?
Basically,
Not
if,
always.
if somebody has time travel, like, it's impossible. Like, they'll always win because it's just like, ready, fight, teleport back to when you were a baby. So, that's not fun. You know, like, so that's the thing that's like always hard for us is time travel, but that's like our only like kind of unofficial rule that we try not to do.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, again, it really comes down to the matchup.
Yeah. There's a giant lollipop.
There is. What do you know?
And I got a wave. All right, what's up?
What do you know?
It's like I'm gonna stand on this chair. Yeah. Oh, Riddler. All right.
Riddler with a lollipop. All right.
That's the most adorable question I've ever gotten. All right.
I love it.
Yeah. Round of applause for Riddler. Actually.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you know where it's going. So Goomba versus Koopa was originally, we're like, what should it be? And we're like, what if it was Goomba versus Burger Time hot dog? Like, and then basically how that fight was going to go was they're just at a constant stalemate until they eventually get to a ladder, and then the Goomba's fucked. Because the like hot dog is like, I can climb ladders, and then drops on him, death.
That would have been the most boring fight of all time.
But we talked about it. That's about as close as we got to a
went
fight
from that
for food.
to the most epic possible thing a Koopa and Goomba could do.
Yeah. Yep. This one's you, man.
Okay. How about the shirt? Kind of midway to the back.
You with the shirt. Bullshit.
Thank you. No.
Oh, Starscream Rainbow Dash.
Do we really need to talk about that anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, Rainbow Dash. That was just a joke that was brought up at lunch at a freaking Burger King.
You
You
guys know Pro Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to work for Screw Attack. So at lunch, Jared was like, what if we did a My Little Pony versus a Transformer?
It wasn't really. It was just, what if we brought a pony into it? And we're like, well, who the heck would a pony fight? A Care Bear? I don't know.
I was like super busy, and I actually worked through my lunch, and they all went off. And when they came back, it was on. Like, they had all talked about like Transformer versus My Little Pony, and like, but they hadn't really looked anything up yet.
It was just a joke at that time.
And
then I think Jared or Sean like Googles, goes on to the Pony Wiki. It's like, what could Rainbow Dash actually do?
He's
And
like,
it's
look
like,
at this
what?
shit. Like,
You're like,
and
Sonic Boom.
and then after the episode came out, they released the next season, and she creates a tactical nuke.
Slams into like a barn. It's like one of the ponies. Is like,
And they all like dive in a trench, and
yeah,
it's just rainbow
literally
destruction.
a nuclear explosion in rainbow form.
That's one of
ridiculous.
It's one of our favorite episodes because we literally like I was like they pitched it to me and I'm like that's stupid. It's like oh you want that fight? Ready fight. Starscream, done. And then we looked it up and it's like that thing's ridiculous.
I will always say if you're showing somebody Death Battle for the first time, I say watch Starscream Rainbow Dash. Because even if they don't really like the pony thing or whatever, like that is the epitome of what Death Battle's all about.
Yep.
Just the ridiculous stuff that is somehow supported by facts.
Yep. All right, so here's the deal. We are like at our panel time, so we got to show this thing. But just so you guys know, we do have an autograph session after this, and we're down to just hang out and talk. And if you don't know where that is, it's where registration is, like way in the back. So if you guys want to come over there, we're happy to take photos, sign things, talk about fun. But we don't want to get kicked off of here before we show you some of Toph. So
Here's a little teaser for the next episode.
Talk about a rough ride.
You do not belong here. This is sacred ground. Leave.
Oh yeah, tough guy? Make me.
Interesting. she commands stone as fluently as I control sand.
By the way, I can tell you're using your sand to smash up the ground underneath us for more ammo. Pretty smart for a sand. Too bad I'm gonna kick your butt before you can use any of it.
I can't underestimate her. I need time.
Huh? Whoa! Sorry, Grumpy. I'm not ready to be a shish kebab just yet.
The disappointment of not knowing, like, I felt it. Just so you guys know, our animator's working like super hard on that, and we got that literally this morning. So it will be ready on Wednesday.
Yep.
See
See you this week. Oh, we were gonna do the super secret announcement, right?
Let's do it. You guys are gonna be the first to know the next death battle after this. And it relates to that question the dude asked back there about if we're gonna use somebody from real life. So
I don't know if they're gonna know the second character though.
Yeah. Next time on Death Battle. Chuck Norris versus
Segata Sanshiro. If you don't know who that is, look
it up.
Segata Sanshiro. It's literally Sega. It's a Sega mascot. Segata Sanshiro. Look up Segata Sanshiro music video. It's the perfect thing. You just got to watch that. You know everything about the character.
and then you will understand. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching our stuff and for coming out to the panel.
We really appreciate everything you guys do for us. Coming to our panels, watching our videos. It means the world to us. We couldn't do this without you.
Yep, we'll be in the autograph area. We're going to run down there and get into the back of registration. We're down to hang out. Thank you all so much. We love you. Thank you very much for coming.